we've got to do everything we can to inspire the people to stand up en masse and to really build a new world, build a better world.
You're listening to People's Tribune Radio, brought to you by People's Tribune Newspaper, an independent monthly published in Chicago. Today we bring you John Slaughter, an author and a participant in the growing Moral Monday movement in Atlanta, Georgia. In this program, we provide excerpts from Blog Talk Radio Pickney to Pickney program. John Slaughter and Reverend Pickney discuss the development of the Moral Monday movement, voter suppression in the South, and the similarities between the South and events in Michigan.
Blog Talk Radio.
You are listening to the Pickney to Pickney show. We'll walk around here in the city of Benton Harbor, Michigan, and I tell you, it's here. Oppression is here. This is one of the few cities, states, or counties that you could be bonded over for trial with no evidence at all. Because here in the city of Benton Harbor or Barron County, we normally have an all-white jury, which is motivated by something other than the truth. And this is what the judge and the prosecutor, Michael Sepik, is doing. But we are here to fight, and we need your help. On that note, I got to bring in my good friend, John. John, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I just want to send heartfelt greetings to you from people of the Moral Movement here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, appreciate that. Look, tell us a little bit about that Moral Monday.
First of all, I just want to say a little more about that. I went to a Moral Monday meeting a few weeks ago, right after we heard about the situation that's developed in Benton Harbor there. Everybody was just appalled at what's happening. A lot of people had already heard about Benton Harbor, and they wanted me to convey their most heartfelt solidarity with you. We really do see a lot in common with what's happening there and what's happening in Georgia and all across the South.
You know, here we get strictly voter suppression here. For a recall petition, they sent the SWAT team around my house, blocked off streets for a recall petition. But it might intimidate the people that's not conscious of exactly what's going on.
You know, the Moral Monday movement kind of got started in North Carolina last year. What has been going on is that the governments in the southern states, I know it's very much the case in Michigan as well, have been really moving to an extreme form of politics where coming down hard on the people, cuts are being made to education, to health care, where there's voter suppression going on, and all of those things, people just finally got to the point where they say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. This is really immoral. You know, it's unjust. And we've got to step forward and oppose this and begin to confront it and to overcome it. One of the things that's kind of a sign of where things stand today is how there's a real rise of civil disobedience. And the Moral Monday movement in North Carolina last year had over 900 people go to jail, stand up for what they believed in. Here in Georgia, we got started after we were inspired by North Carolina, and we've been confronting the same kinds of conditions here. One of the main things that we are struggling around is this whole question of the expansion of Medicaid. You know, we've got 650,000 people in Georgia who do not have health insurance who could be insured with the expansion of Medicaid, and it's free money from the federal government, and yet the governor and the state legislature here refuses to accept those funds. And it's really a life and death matter. It means that people are going to be dying every day here because they don't have access to that kind of health care.
That because the governor refused to accept those dollars?
That's right. He refused to accept those dollars. They passed a law that it had to pass through the state legislature. They've got an extreme majority here, a supermajority, and they can just about put through anything they want. 39 people who were arrested here back in, I believe it was in March when we were trying to get this Medicaid expansion passed.
You're in Atlanta, Georgia, is that correct?
Yes.
You're really a spin-off from North Carolina.
Yes, well, actually what has been happening is that the Moral Monday movement has been spreading across the South. We've got quite a successful session during the legislature here in Georgia, but they now have Moral Monday movements that have begun in South Carolina and in Florida and other states. So it's really spreading.
Absolutely. I would like to see it spread up here. Matter of fact, I would like to start a Moral Monday up here because it's really about voter suppression. That's really what it's all about.
Well, that's right, and that's one of the things that we have had a Moral Monday gathering at the state capitol for 12 weeks in a row. Some of that was around Medicaid expansion. Part of it was around education. Been over $8 billion cut the education budget here, and it's been around voter suppression. Kind of related to that, we made a real effort to try to get the Stand Your Ground law here repealed. I certainly see in Michigan with emergency manager laws that have been passed that where they've taken over governments and thrown out people who have been elected to office, and the development of a real police state where they carry out their will as opposed to the will of the people.
They do their will, whatever it is, because it's the people are not conscious of exactly what's going on. You know, they wait until something happens, then they want to fight.
I really do think, and what I see as things are beginning to change as far as people's thinking is concerned. You know, there is a growing awareness. Kind of the banner that stands for all of the Moral Monday movements here is forward together, not one step back. And, you know, when you think about it, that's a pretty important kind of posture to take. First of all, I think together there have been struggling against this issue or that issue, but separately and defensively, try to hold on to what's being taken away from them. Finally, we got to the point where there's an understanding that we are in this all together, and we have to stand together as one. There has to be solidarity and unity around all of these issues. Forward, I think, is we're not going to be tolerating this anymore. We're not going to just accept it. We're not going to be defensive. We're not going to beg. We're going to grow a movement that is going to be capable of standing up to and overcoming these forces that are opposed to us.
And here's what the people have to understand. We're all in this together. Whatever my issue is your issue. And whatever your issue is my issue. And if we start thinking like that, we become great in numbers. And that's our goal, to become great in numbers. Until we become great in numbers, we have to get out here and educate the people about whatever the issue is. I want to join. I want to be part of it. I'm going to be part of it because I have never saw people so alert about issues. I'm proud right now. I'm proud to live in Benton Harbor. You have to stay here and go head to head, chest to chest, eyeball to eyeball with these people. And that's how you win this battle.
You know, I think that is a kind of a growing attitude that people are taking. You know, it is the understanding that an injury to one is an injury to all. We have to stand up for one another. Borrowing a line from Occupy Wall Street movement, you know, it's not one thing, it's everything.
I love that saying. It's not one thing, it's everything. I'm not fighting one thing, I'm fighting everything. That's how I feel about this situation.
But, you know, I think another phrase, the Occupy Wall Street movement, too, is this whole thing around the 1% and the 99%.
Yes.
That's kind of the beginning of an awareness of not really a class consciousness yet, an understanding that we are in this together. We have a common enemy. And I think that's the other thing that people are really coming to understand, is really seeing how these corporations have come in and taken over the government and are running it in their interest and are privatizing everything, passing legislation that redistributes the wealth in one direction, that is in their direction, and we're seeing this growing polarization of wealth and poverty. This is what we're really fighting, really. I think that's, you can talk about all these different issues, but that's what it really comes down to. That's where the battle lines are really being drawn.
Absolutely. You know, I agree with that 100%, especially with these corporations, because we have our very own whirlpool here who controls the courthouse. They controls everything. Everything that goes on in the city goes through them. And, you know, it astonished me to see some of the stuff that goes on. We have to change the way we do business, John. We have to change the way we do business. And like I say, the people are coming. And I believe the people will come. You know, it may not seem like it's a lot right now, but it's a lot of people that's waking up. John, I'm prepared. All we have to do is keep fighting, whether we like it or not. It's right now. So let's build this thing up. Also, I really would like more information because I really want to be connected with you down there in Atlanta and in North Carolina, so the people here sees a bigger picture.
Well, you know, I was going to say that to go on the Internet, they have banned you from using a computer in your home. Is that correct?
Well, they had, but we went in there and beat them down, and they realized that, you know, what they was doing, what they was breaking the law, you know, is very unconstitutional to even insist on something like that. And they have the nerve to have me under house arrest. But they just wanted to silence me. They just tried to figure out ways to neutralize me because every single day I'm fighting. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to stop Pinckney. So I'm, you know, I can get on the computer now, and I'm also no longer under house arrest.
Oh, you're not under house arrest anymore.
No.
Oh, well, that's great.
Absolutely.
Great news. People here were just horrified when we heard that. We just couldn't believe that for a charge of voter fraud, as bad as that sounds, talk about putting people under house arrest for that is just unheard of. And then banning the use of the Internet, I don't think that's ever happened to anybody ever before. It just is an indication of the lengths that they're willing to go to try to stifle any kind of dissent or protest.
Absolutely. But listen, you got about 3 minutes, John. You can say whatever your heart desire. Tremendous guest.
In terms of support, we will certainly do what we can here to help you raise those funds. And, you know, one of the things that we do have here is the People's Tribune, which has been faithfully carrying your story for a while. We'll get the word out through that and in any other way that we can. The only thing I want to say is just how it is that we are in a common struggle here. Michigan is kind of like it's Michigan up south now. There's conditions in the south in Michigan are not that different anymore. I even heard a reference made to Benton Harbor as being like the new Jim Crow. Well, you know, we certainly know about Jim Crow here and the efforts to try to relive that history, and that's the main thing that we are opposed to and that we are making a fight for, because this is an immoral, evil regime that we're living under, and we've got to do everything we can to inspire the people to stand up en masse and to really build a new world, build a better world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. John, really, really enjoyed you being on the radio show today.
It's been great talking with you.
Contact the People's Tribune at 1-800-691-6888 or email us at info@peoplestribune.org. info@peoplestribune.org, or visit us on the web at peoplestribune.org. Please subscribe and order bundles of the People's Tribune to give to your friends. We welcome you to send your story to the People's Tribune.